But you said earlier on that sometimes parents, cause this problem.
Yes.
But God himself says, Abel I loved, but Cain I hated. That's a parent.
Because you remember, parents would love us based on certain events that which they've gone through.
The fights in families, they've got a tendency of separating someone from their spouses.
Indeed, there are people that which have left the wealth of their parents in the name of peace to say, I still need my life.
Yeah. It cannot be. And I need to stress this. I cannot love my sister more than I love my wife. That means the family that you create is much more important than the family you come from. Sanbonani Makaya, we are coming to you straight from the Busang studios. This is Insightful Exchange, where issues are deliberated. We are here today to talk about the most sensitive issue that happens within black families. I mean, you find that you grow up with your cousins, with your sisters and brothers, but somewhere along the line, you start to have conflict and you start to become enemies. Siblings, rivalry, what causes that? And you find that some of you get married, now your spouses are forced to take your side and have issues with your family. And this is sometimes an unfair thing to do because your spouse was never there. He was not there when the issues began. However, now he's brought into the issues. I'm not alone. I'm having a discussion with my co-host, Mr. Lemza Lemon. How are you, my good sir?
Hey, Baba, I'm good, man.
Are you good?
Yes, I'm good.
I hope you're not having issues with your brothers, are you?
No, I'm not. Probably he is having issues with me.
Yeah. Okay, maybe you need to check. You need to check with him. Yeah.
No, we do not have issues.
Yeah, and I mean, this becomes an unfair thing, because if you look in most black families, there's always issues.
Yes.
I mean, we see on television programs they are fighting for houses. There's always a fight about something in a black family.
Yes.
But what's even worse for me, it's you are fighting with your sisters. Somebody gets married to you. He goes and starts having a relationship with your family. And now you want to poison him. You want to tell him, no, ola le ola ha ke barati. So lwena o tlamehile hore o ba tlhoye. I mean, how does that work? I mean, and I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Why then do we have to carry on with this fight and bring other people to become part of our allegiances so that they can help us to fight the issues? Why don't we just fix the issues?
Man, this subject is really very into the hearts of many.
Yeah.
As you just gave us just an outline there, that it's kind of in many families rife. Look, we say wherever there are two people, there will now and then be glitches.
Yes.
But we are not in those normal glitches. I think our conversation is not in there to say one day we'll have just not seeing things in the same way. But we are bringing the matter where there is really serious fight and hatred among siblings.
But tell me that. Tell me this. You do a lot of counseling, and I do counseling.
Yes.
I don't know with you. Do you find this to be rife from your side? Do you come across a situation whereby somebody says, I do not have a good relationship with my sister or my brother, and here are the reasons? And what would be those reasons? Do you come across that?
Yes, very often.
Yeah.
Very often you find that. Also, you see, we are in the church space. Also in the church space, I think the church environment, it exposes us into real issues people go through. That you'll find reasons, for instance, where people say, our parents are the reason that we fight.
Okay.
In terms of favoritism and all of that.
Yes.
So probably can deliberate more on that to say there will be that element. But also at some time, it's because one just have the jealousy over the other.
Ah, Abel and Cain.
Yes,
Abel and Cain. Okay, Jacob and
Definitely.
Esau.
And that one is
Yeah,
rife. That
yeah.
one, you know, it's more probably more than what the parents could do. I think in the entire conversation, you'll find it that the parents, they've got a role to play.
Is it?
Yeah, they've got a role to play in
Batswadi.
some way. But
Batswadi. So,
Yeah.
so today when we speak, we need to also refer to parents.
yes,
Because, and I mean, somebody was asking me a question, Hore, how come unale bana baba four? And when you pass on, you leave the family house to one child.
H.
As a parent, don't you think, Vela, that is going to really create discord? And I mean, this is where it starts, that no ways, we're going to have to fight for this.
Yo.
We also grew up in this family. But the parents doesn't seem to care, or I've created this problem. Because sometimes it happens because these three probably, were rebellious growing up. But this one, no, she's very obedient. So
Yeah.
the mother chooses this one. But also we have another issue here, the last born. Another problem here, the last born in families. Or who said last borns are the ones who inherit the family homes? But also, we also have another problem. Let me, because when you speak, I want you to also look into this problem.
Yes.
We have a problem here, the last born.
Yes.
Last born, they have got a sense here, Hori, because they are the last ones, therefore they will be the last ones to be left.
Yes.
And things, belong to them by default.
Yeah.
But then we have another problem here, the firstborn. The firstborn, usually they would like to take, ownership of things, take care of the younger ones, and assume the role of being the sole heir of the family property. And by doing that, they start to create, a sense of jealousy to this one. Why you take her over? Why we get a deputy parent? They are enjoying the benefit because probably he's the one who's working. But that also creates a problem where the mother, habulela labor, are always bonang abudalina, bonang ausalina. Why so twanili ausahao?
Yes, yes.
That starts to create now animosity between the siblings.
Yeah.
Now it starts to filter.
Yeah, amen. It's just like that. And I want to start on this before it slips me. The one of the elder brother that believes that he owns everything. And then I'm looking at it more in your Zulu language. Now, I think in the Zulu language it puts it clear, but people misunderstand it. To say in the Zulu city, uyindlalifa, ne sithi indlalifa, but people think that it means ukuthi ungumdlaifa.
Okay.
So as if someone that which inherits or eats the wealth of the family. Why? More indlalifa, you're the distributor of the wealth.
Aha, I get it.
Yes, you're the distributor of the wealth, and then because in the development before lawyers were present. That there is a will and all of that. So the elder brothers were the ones that were responsible
to distribute
in the absence.
So they would basically become caretakers. When this one are of age, he'll come and say, okay, now you're of age. Here is the remaining property. Let's distribute it in this way.
Yes.
Manje bona
yes.
owner.
And then manje bayayidla manje bayayona. Hey, into zami lezi and all of that.
It's my mother's thing.
Yes. And as a result now, it creates a serious rivalry in the family. And then it's quite very sad. You've touched something to say, now you find that if the parents happen probably to leave some inheritance and then maybe a will and of course at some time that they will give someone more. And then you find that when they leave, they also did not create a good relationship with the children. So the children are already in war. And then when now you leave the children without really proper distribution, we know that some other parents, of course, out of their own way, that they've made these children not to develop in the same way and also to develop in a way that which they cling to one another, they love one another, they help one another, they support one another. So you find that the lack of that in the parents, when now they are gone, and then there is some properties, for instance, that which are left. We know these things that they happen, that serious war starts, and siblings start to bewitch each other, start to kill each other. Literally, there are people, we are sorry to bring this, and then to other people that are watching us, this might bring forth pains in them, because they know to say there is someone either out of them died in the family, or someone they know that in the family died.
Balela these things.
Balela these things. And then this is, and it's very rife, of course, in the black community. And you know, the thing with, in our black community, we come into the issue of a will. To say, we have realized to say, it's a foreign thing for us in the black community that you can have a will. In the black community, will or no will, if they want that house, they want that house. If they want that car, they want that car. Yes.
But this will is forged.
Yeah, but it's forged. But unless no one is going to stay in this house, no one's going to drive this car. And indeed, there are people that which have left the wealth of their parents in the name of peace, to say, I still need my life.
Yeah.
I can still work out myself.
Yeah.
So my life is more valuable than what my parents have accumulated.
But you know what is of a shocker for me?
Yes.
Is that you find that the people who are fighting these things, are well off. They are able to provide for themselves. But they still fight for that 4-room in the township. I mean, what could be, because is it this deep-rooted hate, or is that a sense of greed? I mean, it just baffles me. You have your own house in the suburbs, and you don't want your brother to stay in the township. You even say, "Bokampan, this house re-regis."
Yeah, it's a number of things. It will be a number of factors. Of course, one will be greed. That which will be there. Just at some times, other people would just want something for the name of having it.
Or this one must not have it.
This one, sometimes this one must not have it.
We don't want it, but this one must not have it.
Yo. Yeah, so it becomes quite very dicey to understand what could it be that you find people that are well off, but they will also want to battle certain things that which will not make any improvement in terms of their lives. So those are things, and these are battles that which we find in people. For instance, in the issue of Cain and Abel, it's one story that stands out to say what resonated in Cain, basically because he brought his offering before God, and out of what he was able to bring, and his brother also brought what he was able to bring, to say, what is it that which brewed in him that ultimately then will develop such a hate over his brother to the level that which he even takes his life.
Even if he's got his own.
Even if he's got his own.
Yeah, but she's looking at his brother and says, well, now you cannot please God. I don't want you to please God. So for that reason, I'm going to remove you.
Yes.
But even after removing his brother, his sacrifice was not necessarily accepted.
Definitely.
So what was the point?
What was the point? And this is what, for me, probably needed to arrive at. And then this also becomes one of the factors in many families. It's that I do not want to accept my portion of life and then develop from it as well. I'm seeing you ahead and say, I want to also to be where you are. So there is a brewing of jealousy. So there is an implantation or something of jealousy now it's in me to say, I also want to be like this person. And then I develop hate over. While in the case of Cain, for instance, he was a gardener. He was a gardener, and he could probably have improved in terms of how he brings his offering to God. God would not reject him forever because he knows to say, this is who you are.
That's
this is
what he
you
gave
have.
him, yeah.
Yes, yes.
So he
Then-
cannot produce outside what he is or who he is.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And that's God for you. God will not demand out of you what you are not capable of giving. So for Cain, in his instance, as we'll get that, he did not give the best.
But you said earlier on that sometimes parents, cause this problem.
Yes.
But God himself says, Abel I loved, but Cain I hated. That's a parent.
Yeah, but look, but look, that one, it's far. After many years, we get to that
Yeah.
that utterance. At the time when this was happening, Cain did not hear probably that, but
He did not know.
Yeah,
but
he
what
did
I'm
not
trying
know.
to
Yes.
what I'm trying to highlight, and I'm taking it to the heart of the parent.
Yes.
And I need to be very careful here because I understand how God operates.
Yes.
I understand the context. But here is a layman reading the story in the Bible and understand that, there was a parent. Forget about the physical parent, but
Yeah.
we see God as a parent here. But he says, I hated this one and I loved this one.
Yeah.
Because that's not necessarily the hate of Abel and Cain. It's symbolic.
Yes.
So we need to clarify that. But don't we have that in our own parent, that they even acted out to show that indeed between Abel and Cain, Cain is going to be hated. He's treated differently. He's an outcast. They even end up calling him the black sheep of the family.
Yes. yes. I want to tackle that probably
Yeah.
into two ways. Ne? In one way, that verse as it is.
Yeah.
Ne? And then number one, in terms of how I normally understand it.
Yes.
Ne? To say, Cain I love, I hated, and then Abel I love.
Yes.
Ne? I understand something in that text to say, actually, it should read, and then in the understanding, to say, Cain hated me as God, and,
Yes.
then Abel loved me.
Yes.
But now, in how it is put, it is put as if it's the
God,
hate of
yeah.
God. And now we come to say, many times, or in a number of times, and in a number of family, we do find this, to say there will be those that which we say they are the black sheep, and then they are not good children in the family. Sometimes because of their making it to their parents, and then also into their other siblings, that personally, without having been provoked, because we know that there are others that which their parents love, their parents take care of them. Probably some they are overspoiled, and then now they bring pain to the parents. And as a result of bringing pain into the parents, they start to hate also other people in the family. And then these are things that which we find. But now what we are grilling more today as well in what you are bringing is now when the parent now show the children that I do not love you in the same way. I do not take care of you in the same way. There is others that which the parent will be softer and kinder and so on. And then there will be this other child that is always saying, I want to hlala phansi whenever others do some chores. I want to hlala phansi.
The golden child.
Yeah, the golden child. And then he's always brought some good stuff. And then you remember, and then this goes while the children are still young. You will have some sweet to give them from the corner. Say, and then, but
They also start to know good, I'm the favorite.
yes, I'm the favorite.
Yeah.
But now, after you have given this child something from the corner, he's going the side, khali khali.
Yeah.
to the others, khali khali.
Yeah.
And then
To show them that I am the better one.
I am the better one.
Eish.
And then now, as ultimately, then these others, then they develop hate over that. And it's a case of Joseph, of course. The case of Joseph and his siblings. His father created it, apart from the dreams. Yeah, apart from the dreams that
Before
which,
time, the way he treated him.
Yes.
Because of the mother.
Because of the mother.
Yeah, the love of the mother. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Because you remember, parents would love us based on certain events that which they've gone through. Like now in Jacob's, because of the mother and all other complications. And then to other mothers to say, hey, sometimes say, hey, I struggled for you, so you are the child of my pain.
And you're right. And sometimes it's an issue of, because your father treated me bad, but this one's father treated me very well. So I love this one and hate you because of the pain I associate you with. So when I see you, I see that pain that your father inflicted upon me. So this poor child is punished for the sins of the father.
For the sins of
by the own mother.
By the own mother.
Yo.
And it cuts across. Look, it's two-dimensional, what you have brought. Sometimes the first dimension, it will be biological parents that which you stay with here in the house. That you've got the same siblings, and then your parents are all here. But the time probably when you were born, it was a difficult time in the relationship of your parents. And then they were really struggling. And now the mother, when you are born, whenever she sees you, she sees the pains and the hate that which she had over your father. But also sometimes, if it's a child that comes from outside, of course, then you come from, the mother brought the child in, but the father of this child also ill-treated this mother. Now, whenever this mother sees you, and then she sees the pain and the man that really dribbled her.
And they give you the name you go by the name of Matlomula. Correct, the name of Matakala. These names have got meaning.
Now you're taking it far.
But is this not what happens? When you go listen to these stories, the stories are sad. There's some kind of pain attached to this name. You know, that or baketse fela matlakala ka mo ntlong ka mo, maha o tsamile o ira matlakala ko strateng kwa, and now o tlile le matlakala, and because of that, even the other people in the house, they start to hate you. And let me show you why. You find now that there's 3 siblings.
Yes.
The younger siblings the younger sibling goes out and she has a child. So she brings this child at home, and obviously there's issues there. Now, the older siblings are told, Hori, you are no longer going to get what you've been getting because we need to support this child. So the older siblings now, Lebona, they start to hate your child and you because you have now interrupted their flow of receiving from their mother. So that's why that child is called, the interrupter.
Yeah.
So this one realized, okay, they hate my child, they probably hate me. That child becomes an outcast. That's where it also starts, because the mother has created the impression that these two are suffering because of you. And instead of the mother saying, can we all share? She says, you are going to be punished because this one is punishing us by bringing this child.
Yes. Look! I like the African saying, isisho, esithi ingane zomuntu zihlephelana inhloko yentente. Yeah, that is we share. Yeah, the little that we have, that which we have.
And which was the value in the African society?
It's serious.
So where did we lose it? I mean, it takes a village to raise a child. If you also look at that, it just tells you, if there's a child in a village, regardless of whose child is that child will not go to bed hungry. But that's not the reality now in many black families.
That's not
what
the
happened?
Reality. Yeah, we've become too westernized. We thought that we became too much improved.
I mean, even if we were to go, even if we were to go back 3 generations, 4 generations, we find the struggle in a black family. We probably you and I, we know the graves of our grandmothers and great-grandmothers, but we don't know the graves of the great-grandfathers and the grandfathers. You start to see that there has been a dysfunction throughout. And you hear the story, no, now we grow up now picking up from that, no, because so this has been there, Fundis. It has been there somehow, maybe camouflaged as something else. So at what point did we actually, and we know, I mean, we during the school holidays, we would go to one family and as cousins and so forth. Even if we know here, abazali bethu, they've got issues.
Yeah.
And Tina, because we were young, we socialized, we played together, we shared, bread together. But when we grow up, we start to hear our parents abazwani. Suddenly, Nati, we start to take sides. You see, so when we were young, this was hidden away from us, maybe to protect us. But this has been there for this.
Yeah, it has. It has been there. As you bring it, we cannot dispute that.
Yeah.
But now I want to take it from where you've just left off to say, because our parents, if probably they were not in good understanding with each other, but they made sure that the family is kept together.
Intact, yeah.
It remains intact. That is, they had so much strength to protect the entire family.
Yes.
Of which you must pick it up from there.
Yes.
To say, we must not fight the battles of our parents. If our parents in the family, they had their own struggles, that was their own struggles. We must take it from here to say, let us build a family going forward. We cannot continue struggling as the entire family, but we must see that something good comes out, because we do not have that fight. And then probably the other thing that which needs to be avoided is family gossips.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
It's family gossips. and when there is a family gathering, there's people that don't want to even go to family gatherings because their family gatherings are very toxic. And then there's a group there.
Yeah.
How atamela ba humula.
La itse ka sentsisile o tla fela o jamo.
You see, family gatherings should not be like that.
Yeah.
And then there are people really, their family gatherings are very toxic.
Yeah.
They do not want to attend anything that
And
which has a
most
family
of the
name.
fights start actually there. How come ba le mosebetsi? Ba ba mbotsa ma ba sa utlwane. We already know that. But don't you also think that there's also an expectation created? For example, this thing that sometimes I fail to understand. We have a funeral. Bari, if malome moholo a seng ka fitli, stopo se modimo. And this guy arrives late. Everybody else is upset. And he's got a tendency of doing that. Because he knows
Yes.
Doesn't that also add to the problems that we are having? Because now, eventually, you have this young one who says, no, stuff malume mohulu, or it gets in torna kam korbato ditakating. Hata now he's upset to put him in because babuzi the kasi before yena afika. Yeah. Ibile now suddenly lim sebetsu ka tsamaya hantle. Because of by the but he always comes late. He's always, and when he comes there, he doesn't have money. They must give him money on a mailer, and then Happy Tamala he wants to call the shots. And this ones I say, no, stuff you malume. We're not gonna do that.
And look, and then other, in other families, such uncles, they would try to sideline them. Whenever there is a function.
Yes.
Especially probably when it's malobola. And conversation would have, our lobola probably would have first round and second round most of the time. Maybe he would miss the first round and then you make all the conclusions. And then by it's all the agreements and all of the things. And then on the second round, Lisabu fell a feet. Lisomjwet.
Yeah.
The conversation he erased everything that
and messes it up.
And messes it up.
Already now this one's upset.
And then now rivalry start again.
And also.
And then it becomes quite very worse.
Now they also poison their children to hate their uncle.
Tomorrow
when they've got something they know, we don't call that one. Now, I read the song for this. I think for me, where I look at this thing is, let's take it further.
Yes.
Because we can all agree that it's difficult to contain sibling rivalry in the house or in the home.
Okay.
It always, filters out in the street.
Yes.
Here's the situation. So there's 4 sisters.
Yes.
3 of them are not married. This one gets married. This one gets married. Now, they've got issues because they're not married. But jealousies are older.
Yeah.
And they're doing everything in their power to disrupt the Nyalola High.
Sure.
Again, but when to just snacks against her or towards her. Now listen to that. So there's 3 of them and 1 brother. So there's 4 of them, 1 brother, so it's 5 of them.
Yes.
So these 3 sisters, abanyala onyits, bamujela says. The husband comes in, start to have a good relationship with the brother.
Yes.
Now suddenly, my sisters are toxic. I want to walk away from my family. Now the wife also forces the husband. Or Luena, you must have an issue with them.
Sure.
This guy does not know anything.
Yes.
He was not there from the beginning. Now, I don't know if you've ever, come across such. In your situation, what does now this husband do, number 1? Number 2, what must the sister do now? Because he's got the sisters now who are telling her lies for now, so that she can divorce and come back home. Now, there are many who don't realize that their siblings could be doing that. They don't know. They're thinking, oh, no, my sisters love me. Kanti ba musinyetsa. Aba batla mmona nyetsa le happy. Ba batla bue high.
Sure.
Why bona already?
Yeah.
No, they are my sisters. They've got my best interest at heart. But she does not see, no. Ba batla o tshwane le bona. They've got kids with different men that they cannot account for. When, on the other hand, you have children with 1 man, and you have a good life and fair life.
Yeah.
You live in the burbs and bona they don't.
Yeah.
Ba busy ba frequenta sasa offices ba tsaya tšhelete ya mme ba bola go ija. Mma bola go founela hore ngwana ka o isa ke na shebo. Everybody comes to you and your husband ba batla dintho. Again. But this is done so that there's no peace in your marriage. How do we even navigate that?
It's a difficult one to navigate. That one, and of course, you know what you are bringing. One might look as if it's a story. It's not happening. While really there is that, because there's a level of jealousy that which will be there among the sisters, of course, to say, but uyenze njani lona? How come that she got the best? Because sometimes they'll say, you always get the best. You always progress. Your life, what
and
is
they make you feel guilty for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
They make you feel guilty for that. And then you end up, if you stay away, you end up not even want to visit them.
Because they also made snide remarks. Yeah, I agree when bahumi. Yeah.
Or not letting them to visit.
Yeah.
Because when they visit, they always make comments.
Yeah.
Lija hamunati.
Babula fridge.
Lija hamunati. How tiba re sokola jwang?
Yeah, kamu ka thoki cheese. Mara na hey, yarna yo.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I mean, but also as we address this, let's help somebody who's in that situation.
Yeah.
Because I think it can be very troublesome, toxic, irritating, tiring. I mean, going home every now and again to listen to your brothers or sisters telling you about how lucky you are, and they're not, wishing you well and so forth, and telling you and you have your own challenges, but you want to maintain the relationships, but you can't.
Yes.
Because of how they treat you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's somebody right now, as we speak, sitting at home, wondering, do I want to go home? Because the husband, and it creates that rift between them. So how do we help that person, Fundis?
Yeah, let me pass this comment just quickly to say, to some other extent, to other families, it goes to the extent where the very same sister or sisters will try to lure your husband. Yes, to fall in love with
him.
Yeah.
So what husband?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And when you do find such, and then you find now probably now your sister has the child of your husband, because they have want to disturb everything that which we have. So So we say, and then this I think we've been keeping on saying, to say, whenever we build a family, it must be established for both people that which build a family. To say, we don't hate, we leave our parents' side.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
And the brother.
Everyone.
Yeah.
We go and build our own family. So we needed to be able to really move away and start to build. Because we are not going to be able to build in the presence of other people.
But let me ask you a question quickly before you carry on. Sorry,
Yes.
I'm disturbing you. Now, when the sister needs shoes and the husband needs shoes, who do you buy shoes for?
You know,
Forget circumstances.
Yeah.
Let's assume everything being equal.
Yes.
Now, here are my sisters. The mother's calling me to say, your sister's banyaka di thaku.
Yes.
Your sister this, your sister that. But the husband comes thaku ko wili sinzo. You look at your husband and utshwantsele mo nyanyeng ning kwai shi ko wili.
Yeah.
Mama ho ka mo le bo sisters ba re phela wena mama o itse sekolong hona ba no ga nyo go re tlhokomela. O busy re botsa ka monna. So based on what you are telling us, who you build with the husband, you leave them. Who gets the shoes?
Yeah, it will depend to the circumstances.
I said all things being equal.
Yeah, all things
let's forget the circumstances of Saudi.
Look,
assuming the situation is the same.
Yes. Look, psychology says to us, your siblings will win your heart better.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's psychology.
Yes.
Okay.
and then we find that also in reality, that is how it goes to be. And one example also, that is one that has your blood basically will be your first preference most of the time. And this is not a good example I'm making, but it goes to say, if the house can be on fire and there are children and your wife, when you get there, you'll go for your children first. So those are
that's you,
I'm just bringing.
No, I'm just saying that's you.
No,
I want us to be clear here. I want us to be clear because I hope my house is not on fire.
yes, it must never be. You're making an example.
God forbid.
No house is on fire.
But if it is this example, we need to bring it to reality.
Yes.
God forbid.
Yes.
Children should not come between the parents.
Yes.
The married, me and my wife.
Yeah.
And God forbid that we are in that situation. The only reason why we would go for the children is because we would save them purely because they are incapable of saving themselves.
Yes.
But that is if the wife has been saved. Or if the wife is also helping in the process of saving. But if I'm trying to save this child and the wife falls, my focus changes quickly to the wife. That's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
That's what we should be teaching. That these children know not to start the fire in the house. That if they start the fire, they're going to get buried. Me and the wife will be outside praying for their souls. God forbid that it happens. Mfundisi.
Yes.
And why am I saying and stressing this, Mfundisi? I know what you're saying. And maybe the situation will not be the same with my wife. Maybe my wife will pick up the sisters, not even the children. Maybe she'll pick up the sisters and run. But in reality, Mfundisi, how God wants things to be is that as bad as Sodom and Gomorrah was, Lot had to take his wife first. Even if you go read the Bible, it says, take your wife.
Yes.
And anybody else.
Yes.
You need to understand that. So unfortunately, the wife chose to look
back and then she remained.
It's an unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
When Abraham was instructed, Abraham, take your wife.
Yes.
And then obviously he took every other person. So I'm saying this to also help that should we have a siblings rivalry issue, or even if we do have a good relationship with our siblings, we should never ever compromise our spouse.
Yes.
Be it a male spouse, be it a female spouse. And I'm saying this because the fights in families, they've got a tendency of separating someone from their spouses through jealousy,
Yes.
through, criticism, through fear, their own fear. They will plant this fear in your spouse so that eventually they start to see you as a bad person. I want to stress this point that my spouse is off limit.
Yes. Yes.
Your spouse should be off limit.
Off limit. Yeah.
Regardless of the differences I'm having with my spouse in the house. If we slept that night and that house is on fire, I will drag her in bad mood while I'm complaining, but I will drag her out of the fire. She's my wife.
Yes. Yes.
That it's not even negotiable.
Yes.
That needs to be clear.
Yes.
And we want the sibling, who is a woman, to understand that. And I ask you the question which I know the answer to say, if there's a need for the shoes,
Yes.
there cannot be negotiation there.
Yeah.
The husband gets the shoes.
The husband gets the shoes.
Why? Because many spouses are manipulated into siding with their siblings or their families.
Yeah.
They are manipulated. We know that it's happening every day. And they manipulate them so that they can milk them. And in many marriages, fights are not started by the husband and wife.
Yes.
They are started by the fear and the things planted in the eyes and the ears of the spouses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where was he on this day? And they would quote a scene or an event to make you feel guilty.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So right there, when they do that again, you start to see the Abel and Cain coming up. They don't want the good things for you. Now they start to create rivalry between you and the husband. And they keep saying, we are doing it for the good. But it's not for the good.
Well, actually it's not.
If your sisters love you, if your brothers love you, they will say to you, go build your home with your spouse.
Yeah.
Now, there is another silent sibling rivalry that we don't talk about. That is disguised as I care about you.
Yes.
You're my sister. You come first. Even our own mothers, they do that. So that they want to keep controlling their children. They have kept these children in a single bowl.
Yes.
Once this one step outside, they want to bring her quickly inside.
No.
So siblings rivalry again is created. The mother start to poison the other two to say, La mona auswalena urishile. These two start to hate the sister.
Yeah.
Hafeza mabona immediately are no mara hasiyena ke munna ola. You see what they do now?
Yeah.
So o habua but mo lebela diphoso ka the husband.
Yes.
They start to now poison her or marry your husband. Why alomunsu so? Why is your husband?
Yeah.
Why anwa so? Your husband. Why? You start to see wrong things ka husband ya.
Yeah.
Until you end up divorcing him.
Yes.
Come home. They don't love you.
Yes.
If they loved you, they would have said, you chose your husband as he is. We are going to accept him as he is. You are our sister. Will support you. Go build your home.
Yeah.
Who gets the shoes for this?
Yeah. Look when you know the story of Job.
Yes.
You know the story of Job.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it even this. Yeah. What happened?
Yeah, the story of Job. Job lost everything. But God spared his wife. Regardless of how his wife was.
Don't say God spared his wife. He lost everything except
his wife.
Regardless.
Because the presence of wife will bring another generation.
Is this not what happened?
That's what happened.
Yeah. So why is this important, Mfundis? Don't go and side with your sisters and brothers.
Yes.
Regardless of what happened. if your siblings want you to side with them against your spouse, they are not for you.
Yeah, no, that one is witchcraft.
That's witchcraft.
Yeah, that one is
Even
witchcraft.
other sky sugarcoat and fundis.
Yeah.
Sometimes we like to sugarcoat things in fundisi. We are here to help people to go build.
Yes.
Again,
Yes.
if you are my sister, tell me to go home kanako. Don't say munna wa tshwenye o tla mmona.
Yeah.
That man must be so important that your sister says,
Yes.
if this thing is going to cause fight in your family,
Yes. And that should be the spirit.
that should be the spirit.
That should be a spirit from the onset of marriage. When you come together, it should be clear to everyone in your families to say, don't interfere
Yeah.
with this marriage.
Yes.
Let them build. This is their time. Let them bring a new breed and a new direction in the family. So it's supposed to be like that. And once that is caught quite very early, it's going to be best. But now you find that, of course, there will be those sabotage, which we do not want, that your siblings, your sisters in this instance, as you bring it up, now they will start to really poison you, speak negatively about your husband. If there is something small in your family, say, hutla hai. You still have a room. Yeah, we still have a space. And that it should not be the case. I know situations where a woman will pack her stuff and go back home.
No, she doesn't go back home. Guess who's coming to fetch her? from your house in Funzis. They are so quick to come and park the car there.
Yes.
Who's that? The sisters.
The sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And say, and in some other instances, then if there's there's brothers and then there are also brothers, so say about episode sharp.
Yes.
About episode sharper as their brother-in-law. So this is.
And then this guy's about to go to the back room. Live on herself. Buy a married man to go fetch his wife to take her to the back rooms.
And then all of
That can't be love.
That's not
That
love.
can't be love.
Instead, there should be a spirit of building to say what's happening in your house. Any way we can help that you. The problem you have with your husband be sorted out. That's
Don't come
supposed
to us. Side.
Yes. That becomes much better. Yes.
How bad your husband is because a different eye tomorrow.
Yes.
Now they start to have makotla. Makotla bile ba o tseya ba isala msedi a o dingakeng ba re wa lwala diamond romo lawyer. And you see, and that's why there is a subtle, a rivalry that we are not talking about because it's presented as though it's love.
As though it's love.
Yeah, as though we care about you. But no, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. Tomorrow, when your children are suffering in the street, keep on about some maintenance. But they forgot or they went and they fetched you from your marital home. Now they want you to be against your husband, the father of your children.
Yes.
Instead of them saying, you know what, go speak to your husband, fix things, and maybe go back home.
Yes.
Our
wrong behavior, our behavior is so
stinks. When at least we you are very respectful, but they want to teach you to be disrespectful like them.
Yeah.
Those people don't love you.
Yes. So basically what we are saying, we say you must stand strong for your family. Stand strong for your husband. Sort everything out that which is there.
Your brothers can't call you at 10 o'clock.
Then when we were off air, we spoke to say it will be quite very good that when after you get married, don't find your house around here. Don't build around.
But so that they don't walk into your house. They must buy plane tickets to visit you. They must make an appointment during 16th of December. 20.
It's next door. How refer ba kena ba mona ba itsa tia batswa ba siya
How
dintho
tsena ka tlung fela hore, hey, Kante, where's my favorite coffee? But I inwile. You know, and as much as we are family, we built one big family as Africans, but there gotta be boundaries.
Yes,
And I think what we the message we are also sending is that check the intentions of your sisters and your brothers. You know, we have got brothers who are staying go high, but they are not married. They don't understand the life of marriage. Or they have been married and they are now divorced. They keep telling you, I'm Chana's kawara, and they start to paint you know, a bleak picture of your life. Or don't divorce and far. If your brother mentions such things to you, you disown him. You disown him.
Because you can't speak that.
You can't speak like that.
Yeah, you can't speak that.
Let your sister, if he says, Shem, when I go high, usale excited. Usale no sutla monna. The moment she say that, Mfundis, you say to her, my sister, you see today, one of that woman, ola o mwana nga fita ko stratengwa, asatsenekam, it's me. Or the fact that you are mentioning this way, you'll never see me again in this house. I think we are so scared to leave our siblings because what if linyalo la fail? They have planted a seed ya hore low fail. No, your marriage is not going to fail.
Yeah, that mind must never be.
Must never be.
Yeah, must never be to say linyalo la ka litlo fail.
Yeah.
We just have to erase that.
Yeah.
And then that becomes to many people kind of it puts them into the relax mode to say even if ko hae banke mates, I've got this. So that must the door of going back home must be shut.
That's why in the olden days, I don't know if you will know, how utswa ba ufa kissed. Kissed you know, it symbolizes what? Lekasi. That means the family that you create is much more important than the family you come from.
Yes.
You need to understand that. There is no two ways about that. They had an opportunity. Again, you cannot be holding on to your sisters and your brothers while you're supposed to be building. Or build a nakoma. How the fella who fellowship ale motho ka mokamoreng ki twi how the fella wa twi now so ke stress ka mokamoreng monna la ke ka phupula fela ha o sa bereke ha because ba no mamang hana ditlhako.
Yes.
You know, and I think also and I don't want to blame women. Men do it as well. We fail. We fail terribly because we don't want to let go. And the issue of Bumma and all these things.
Yeah.
I cannot be, and I need to stress this. I need to stress this. I cannot love my sister more than I love my wife.
It cannot be. It should never be.
There should be a clear distinction here. I don't care who says what. When I stay in my mother's house, I love my sisters.
Yes.
I'll do anything for my sisters. I'll put my sisters first. But the day I bring them a sister, I will love that sister first.
Yeah, things change. And that's the change that which it's not needed for those that are remaining home.
Yes. If you remain home, stay home.
Yeah.
But if you decide to bring somebody, I cannot. My mother needs to know. If my wife says, honey, I need you here today, and my mother says, you must come, she must know honey needs me here.
Yes.
We are not negotiating. My sisters cannot rise against my wife because I bought her something that they did not have. There is no competition there. Now, why are we raising this? We are also trying to paint a picture that, remember, when you bring this woman, she becomes a sibling.
Yes.
That rivalry now also now extends to her. To say, we are hating you because you took our brother away from us. That's why you find there's a whole lot of women who are so unhappy because their in-laws don't like them.
Yeah.
So your sisters should be taught to respect your wife.
Definitely.
If you walk into your mother's house, your mother and your sisters look at your wife in such a disdain manner. You tell them, you see this son that you are seeing today. You see him there, walking down that road.
That's me.
That's me.
That's how I'm going to behave, yeah.
Fundis, they know where I come from. I don't play like that.
Yeah.
We once had a family funeral, but in my extended family.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what, let's just go and pay a visit. And I walked in there, but hey, nangu makoto fikile, mnikeni umese nekiba, you must start to work. I said, whoa. We came here to pay our condolences, not for my wife to work. I said, you guys in this society, they are here, but go get my uniform. Mabasebenzi. Bapatelo laba. Basebenzela into zabo. And I was not being cocky from this. I was teaching my family to respect my wife.
Yes.
They must always know that.
Yes.
That this is a no-go area. If you want to speak about my wife, you speak something good.
Yeah.
You want to come close to my wife, you come to my wife very good.
Yes.
There's no negotiation. My mother knows it. My sister knows it. My brothers knows it.
Yes.
If you ever speak ill of my wife, you're speaking ill of me.
Yeah.
You can't love me.
And it should be the conversation. It should not be a battle of your wife.
Yes.
It should be you taking that responsibility.
My wife is not going to fight there.
Yes.
She does not even have to say anything.
You must be observant to
my
see that.
My family is my responsibility to deal with.
I
can't bring her and say, "Hi, deal alone." I can't. If Bantlula,
yes,
honey, we are going to buy a house in Namibia. Where there's no address, that they will not even find us if Bantloots.
Yeah.
Because we cannot allow families to fall apart because there's family jealousy.
Yeah. And when the pain is that, of course, to say there are families now, there are marriages that are going through rocks because of their families.
Yeah. Their sisters are involved.
Yeah, their siblings are involved into that, to the point of divorce.
The siblings are taking pictures some to how. I do mean another partner, another woman, but money you are bombarded with messages of distraction.
They give you everything that which really clouds you, and then you also believe that because they are your siblings. And you're thinking about
that? No, that's witchcraft, Muru.
That's witchcraft.
How about that? and I think we need to be clear when I'm from. That's why I say there's another form of rivalry that we don't speak about, which is very subtle, which is this one that was shown to us in the relationship between Cain and Abel. What you have established earlier on to say Cain hated me. It was the hidden hate that was presented as though I love to give you the offering. So your sisters come to you in a form of love and they say all these things. No, we are together. When you get married, you are no longer together with them. Clear that.
It must be clear.
That the whole clique must be dissolved. That you can start to go from a family alliance with your partner, with your husband, so that your children understand how Mama and Papa comes first. Now, there are those that will always make an effort to come and, even to an extent of failing in their own marriages and say, can I come and live with you guys for a time? Not because they want to live with you, but they want to come and cause discord.
Discord, definitely. And that's what is happening in most. That's why we say a family must be given an opportunity to build.
To grow,
to grow. Now there is someone from either family that now comes and stay with you. Now you are unable as a couple now to deal with your issues because there is someone, and this person that which is here, she's also a telephone.
Get tracker. They are here now. They are here. So he's sending intelligence.
And then you end up really fighting. While actually this person is an agent.
To say, go cause mudu in there.
Yes.
And that's why couples must actually be very careful of quickly saying, no, let them come and stay with us.
Yeah.
They unless in a dire situation.
Yes.
If situations is dire, we know of many marriages that, fell apart purely because a family member came to stay, with them,
Yes.
And that's where we need to cut, because also, in fairness, we need to also protect our siblings from our marriages,
yes,
from our spouses, and vice versa, But also, this mentality, this particular sibling, because when you are married, you no longer have a say in what happens in here. So they start to sideline you when they plan. And then you've got this sibling who starts to feel, Uguti, you know what, they are sidelining me, so I feel left out, so I'm angry. No. When you are married, don't feel bad when they sideline you.
Yeah.
It's good that they sideline you. Because you are no longer part of that family.
Yes, you've got your own.
You've got your own.
That you have to focus and concentrate.
You need to focus on this one.
Yeah.
If they phone you, bara rekupa 5 rand, you then go to your husband and say, "Renal 5 rand na," to give it to them. But don't cry or no ban sideline. It's good.
Yeah, you don't even have to fight for anything that which is there.
No.
Yes.
They can only inform you and ask if you will be taking part. It's not a must. We can say, you know, or no. I want to know everything. No. What you need to know, school fees you know, is taken care of.
Yes.
That's your concern. It starts there. Yeah. And your siblings cannot hate you. Hey, when you were not involved, you didn't even show interest. You are married.
No, yeah.
Definitely. They must leave you alone. They can inform you and tell you, no, if you want to take part, this is how we are contributing, whatever. But that should not be a must. Until all I had, the same thing happens. If all 4 of you are now married, now the situation changes. You and your husbands now, la phone lana.
Yes.
Or kanarna lebu mama le rina. So
Yes.
And then la boledisana amongst yourself, and then you share with the other families to say, okay, as families, how do you mama party?
Yes.
Again,
yes.
you know, and depending on where and how you can contribute. And we are saying this so that they start to understand the importance of working together as couples and not taking the side of the siblings. Yeah.
Yo, man. Yeah. Look, I think we dealt with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we dealt with this. I'm looking on something here. I don't know how far it will take us, but we have touched it, ne? Because now I'm dealing with these 2 brothers, these twins.
Yes.
Ne? Jacob and Esau.
Yeah.
That they grow, but they are loved by different parents.
Yes.
So the other is a mama's, the other one is the father's.
Yes. Yeah.
And now this have created, Esau basically ended up losing everything that which he lost.
Yes.
Because he was not connected to the mother.
Yeah.
And then they ended up as siblings now, really being not in good spirit. And Jacob had to run away.
Yeah.
And for him to return, it took God.
Yes. He needed God.
Yes.
Yeah, but we need to look at that. I love what you are bringing here. It took God.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
That you need to step out of your own hate for your sister.
Yes.
And you need to accept. Kana gongwe some people bataremo enabari ipetemo or kimuloi. No, I don't want you to ipetemo or kimuloi. Kinyaga or mudimu, I need you or kito helebuloi.
Yes.
So that I can go back and reconcile with my brother.
Yeah.
And we can build a good mutual relationship.
Yeah.
You know, and I think what we're trying to say here is that if we can avoid to have siblings rivalry, let us set the boundaries. You know,
yeah.
And it is not, if your sister does not want to go to school, you can only guide up to a standpoint.
Yes.
She doesn't become your responsibility.
Yeah.
But the more you feel the life you grow. All of us needs to grow.
Yeah.
You know, and if one does not want to grow, unfortunately the train is gonna leave them behind. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do not want us to take from Cain and Abel. I don't want us to take from Jacob and Esau, but I want us to look at what Jesus says when he calls his disciples. He says, they are my brothers.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? He says, you have a brother in me. I think let us be those brothers and sisters to say, I want to see you prosper. Even if it means I need to remove myself so that you can prosper. Because if I say I love you, I cannot now wish bad things for you.
Yes.
If I didn't get married or my marriage failed, I should not wish the same for you. You know, I want you to remain married, to be happy, And I want to say to people, that is my sister.
Yes.
You know, because I would have wished you well. It's not necessary. We should be building each other, helping each other to grow. Family is very important, but family has got to have boundaries, Muruti.
Yes,
because
certainly.
without boundaries, we're going to be all over and stepping on each other's toes. Here, we are building families. We are not perfect ourselves, and we are saying, you at home, make it work with your sisters. If basa ubatli, tsamaya ubatlohele ka peace ya Modimo.
Yes.
Don't hate them. You are not created. The Bible says you are called for a blessing.
Yes.
Let us go and collect our blessings.
Yes.
Mfundisi aritswal.
Yes. Yeah, Rizwala, in this way, as you have already brought the closing kind of and move it quite very well. We say, in the instance where your rivalry as the siblings was caused by your parents in terms of favoritism, you need to mature into that as an individual, grow, let it go. Parents are not perfect. We would always try do our best, because sometimes what we think what our parents have done wrong, it's actually not. It was just our wrong interpretation of that. We say, cut it off. Mature. You cannot keep on hating your siblings because of that. Mature, reconcile with your siblings, and then help each other. Then we say, number 2, jealousy is not going to take you anywhere. They say, they say, as people, we are like fingers. We are not equal, but we are all important.
Yeah.
We've got a role that which we are playing in life. So we say, look into in what is your role in life and your role in your family as well, how you help, and accept as you mature, because we have to. If there is someone in the family that which is advanced, like Abel in this case of Cain and Abel, that his offering was accepted by God, appreciate that.
That's it.
Let's appreciate one another and congratulate one another. And we know when we live like that, we are going to live in peace. So our main note to say to those families where now they infiltrate in their marriages to disturb and to destroy marriages. Of course, there are marriages that which are dead, and we say you need to really repent.
That's it.
Yeah, you need to repent.
That's it.
And ask forgiveness to the people that which you've destroyed their marriage. To your sister, to your brother, say, you know what?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
definitely.
That's it.
Definitely, it's needed, that thing. And we say, when there are family gatherings, they should be for joy, for peace, for excitement. Celebrating one another. It's in gossip. Yeah, everything. No, it should be when we live all of us in peace, and then with joy. We're waiting for another gathering.
Fundis, let's leave them in peace.
Yes.
While we say shalom, we say follow Busang Studios. You want to book this studio for recordings for your podcast, don't be afraid. Busang Studios, or follow us on Insightful Exchange. You can find us there. Send us an email to insightfulexchange@gmail.com. Shalom.
Yes, shalom. Shalom. Yes. We've got an event.
Before we go, we've got an event coming on the 3rd.
On the 3rd
of August.
August.
Where is it going to happen, Fundis?
It's going to be happening in Pretoria Central.
Yeah.
It's 294 Francis Bart Street.
Francis Bart, that's Old Skuman Street.
Yes, it's Old Skuman Street next to SARS. So we know that the word SARS, to many people, it's associated with not joy, but we are somewhere
That's close by.
we are close.
What are we going to be discussing, Fundis?
We are dealing with singles.
Singles. So singles must flock in there.
Must flock in. We say we say before you say I do.
Yeah.
Yes, that is before you can commit into the relationship.
Yes.
Come and listen
Come
to
and
us.
listen to us.
Yeah, come
On
and,
the 3rd of August.
Yes.
294 Francis Bart, Old Schoolman Street.
yes.
It's going to be happening.
It's going to be happening, and then we are there, both of us, and
Aha.
then we are dealing with the matters. We want to prepare people. There are other people, the relationships, they have really showed them flames, and then we say, come, we're going to get healing there. So other people, they say, Mujoloki pandemic.
Yeah. We're going to fix that.
and then what heard?
Yeah, what heard? And Baba, they will find spouses.
Yes, and people are hurt. We say,
Yeah.
Mijolo iuherile.
Yeah.
Come.
It will fix.
Yes, it will fix.
You heard that. Contact us on this number on the screen. And if you want more information, see you on the 3rd of August at Pretoria. That will be in Francis Bart Street.
Yes.
Shalom.
Yes. Shalom. Thank you very much.